Hey there, future web designers. Welcome to our crash course on CSS or Cascading Style Sheets. In just 15 minutes, we are going to take a whirlwind tour of the basics of CSS, showing you how it can breathe life into your web pages. So grab a cup of coffee and let's get started. Happy learning with Simplify Bits. What is CSS? First things first, what is CSS? Well, CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. It's a style sheet language that's used for describing the look and formatting of a document written in HTML. Alongside HTML and JavaScript, CSS is one of the three pillars of the World Wide Web. Looks interesting or difficult? No worries, we are here to make sure that you understand every bit of CSS. Now, you might be wondering, why do we need CSS? Great question. CSS gives us the power to control the appearance of our web pages. With CSS, we can set the color of text, choose our fonts, adjust the size of elements, control the spacing between elements, and even apply different styles for different devices and screen sizes. It's like the magic wand of web design. In our tutorial on HTML, learn HTML basics in 15 minutes, a beginner's guide. We explained the span attribute. In that page itself we showed one of the CSS. Have a look at that example here again. In the span tag we have given style equals blue, and this is making the text appear in blue color on the page. This is what CSS does, it designs the web page and adds more visual appealing features to anything you want. You want to color a text red, just add the style with property as color and value is red, and your text will appear as red on the page. So how the CSS is written, as per syntax it should be style equals property and then value. We will cover all these in more details next, so no need to worry at all. As much you will practice, you will feel more comfortable with the CSS. How to add CSS? So, how do we add CSS to our HTML documents? There are three ways to do this. 1. Inline by using the style attribute inside HTML elements. 2. Internal by using a style element in the head section. 3. External by using a link element to link to an external CSS file. We will look into each of these options next. Let's start with Inline CSS. Here's an example of Inline CSS. In this example, we're using the style attribute inside the h1 and p elements. The style attribute includes property and value pairs, which define the styles to be applied to the elements. This will display the blue heading in blue color and a red paragraph in red color. Next up, internal CSS. Here's what that looks like. In this example, we're using a style element in the head section of the HTML document. Inside the style element, we define styles for the body, h1 and p elements. The blue heading is still blue. A red paragraph is still red. And we have added one more property and value pair for body. Now the body or overall content area of the page is in yellow color. Isn't it great? The internal styling makes sure that every tag in the HTML follows the style which is defined for that tag in all part of the page. For example, if you use p tag anywhere in the page, it will appear in red color only. Finally, we have external CSS. This involves using a link element to link to an external CSS file. Here's an example. If you notice the HTML page, it is not having any style as we used to have in previous example, instead it has a link tag. Here, we're linking to an external CSS file named style.css. This file would contain the CSS rules for our HTML document. And in the style.css file, you might have something like this. It has same property and value pairs which we had for body, h1 and p tags. External CSS is very useful and mostly used and even recommended for search engine optimization, as well as the same CSS can be used across all the pages of your website. As a best practice, we avoid using inline or internal CSS at all in our websites because it makes the website slow and we need to copy same things again and again in all our web page. So always remember, for learning you can do inline or internal CSS, but when it comes to making website for real world, always stick to external CSS. And that wraps up our quick introduction to CSS. We've covered inline, internal, and external CSS, giving you the tools you need to start styling your web pages. Remember, the key to mastering CSS is practice, so don't be afraid to experiment with different styles and see how they transform your web pages. In case you need any help and any clarification, feel free to add comments and we will get back to you as soon as possible. You are awesome. Please like, subscribe, and click on the bell icon to get latest update from Simplify Bits channel. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, happy coding.